Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday Training. We're rocking and rolling as usual. It's good. Oh, here we go.
I know, David, you're streaming on multiple platforms, so thank you so much for sharing some of your wisdom with us here on this platform. David Meltzer and Nick, the mic is y'all's.
Oh, thank you so much, Ramon and Scott. You're just preaching and teaching. Remember, our lessons, especially with our kids, are not taught, they're caught. And the reason your kids are so successful and will be so successful is they're watching you two guys. So thank you for handing off this power hour, as you suggest. It's almost, believe it or not, Ramon, 28 years of training. Wow. every week. All it hasn't fall. We call it Friday Training, but to keep consistency, there's been a few Thursdays and a few, even fewer Wednesdays, but we have hit every single week for almost 28 years come October. And we are blessed to come into this holiday weekend. And as usual, at the end of the month, as we're moving into what is also my 28th anniversary to my unbelievable wife, which is in honor of her. We have that and her birthday as well, and a special surprise on September 2nd, everyone, which we'll be talking about next training. But I think what I'm going to do is hand it off right off the plane. We want to thank our Aspire family for another extraordinary event in Secaucus, New Jersey. Unbelievable. David Goggins and Kevin O'Leary and Mike Tannenbaum, myself, Eddie, and Andrew. We've had an extraordinary run. We're going to go to 2, believe it or not, Aspires every month come January. But moreover, Nick of WOM, you're right off the airplane, and now you're back here. I don't know how you do it at 25 years old, but thank you so much for helping me and moderating my Friday trainings and many more things. The Nick of WOM. Can you go ahead and set up the room for us, my friend?
Absolutely. And happy Friday, everybody, whether you are joining us online. As Ramon mentioned, we are live just about everywhere, let alone here in the Breakfast with Champions, the best room and community on Clubhouse for today's Friday training. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Today's topic is going to be the takeaway of the month. So as you request to join the stage, if you are here on Clubhouse, please be prepared to share your takeaway of the month. And if not, at least bring a question for David. And for everybody that is joining us online, please make sure to put your takeaway of the month or, of course, your question for David as well in the chat, as we will be filtering through those throughout this incredible training. Now, with that said, it would not be another Free Friday training if we were not inviting but not obligating everybody to come and join us in person, especially as we turn the page of August into September. We have some incredible invitations but not obligations, including 2 back-to-back SoFi Stadium masterminds with the incredible chef Wolfgang Puck, let alone thought leaders like Marie Diamond and founders like the incredible Wing Lam from Wahoo's Tacos. Then we'll be heading on to Phoenix, Arizona, South Dakota, San Diego, California, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Los Alamitos for the #1 show on Cheddar Go Fund Yourself, as well as Boise, Idaho. Now, we are on our way to over 200 cities this year alone, and that is how we do it. We are ferocious, folks, and David and I need our text community so we can keep up with ourselves and get reminded on where we're supposed to be. So if you want the reminders on where David and I are going to be, please just join our text community, which is just 949-298-2905. Now, with that said, Dave, why don't you kick us off by sharing your takeaway for the month of August?
You got it, my friend. And once again, thank you so much. And we also hope you had a great 25th birthday last week. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here with you. My takeaway was taken away from Aspire. And every once in a while, you hear the nugget that inspires you for trainings, for deeper thought and deeper research. And I've been reading a book called The 5 Types of Wealth. It's by Samuel Bloom. And in the 5 types of wealth, they talk about all these different categories. And all of a sudden, Andrew Cordell, who's one of the founders of Aspire, I'm sitting there with him on stage, and he says, hey, you know the difference? You earn money, but you engineer wealth. And so many people get so busy working, they forget to make money, but you do earn money, whether you're any age. But what is the idea of engineering wealth? Because wealth takes, as anything else, a lot of architecture. It takes a lot of engineering. Then it takes a lot to execute and to, create all the things around that engineered idea. And within the context of engineering wealth, we have to architect it, we have to build it, we have to maintain it, we have to grow it, all the different aspects in engineering. And I started thinking about wealth as a locomotive, and being able to engineer this incredible long train of wealth, social wealth, of health wealth, of economic wealth, of all these different things that will help to increase our capability, align with our mission, so that we make a lot of money, so that we earn a lot of money, that we help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. So I'm looking for those engineers out there and putting together the plans, the architecture, and the execution model, utilizing values and practices in order to facilitate a greater amount of harmony wealth in your life. And it was one of those jaw droppers for me. You earn money, but you engineer wealth. I think I'll do a training on that. Mikey's here. Why don't you go write that one down? I'll run a training back on earning money versus engineering wealth. We are blessed to engineer here today, and he is Little Train James himself, Nick of WOM, the host of the WOM podcast, the Well Machine podcast, my fastest growing podcast of all time. Either people are bored shitless with it or love it, so that means it's good. So unfortunately, my wife hates it, but so many people do love it. Nick of WOM, can we have our first friend, or maybe you've been traveling with me a lot. Why don't you tell me if you have a takeaway of the month of August?
Of course, I have a takeaway of the month from August. Excuse me. And the takeaway of the month actually comes from something that you taught me. And one of the things that I'm very intentional about is my own personal curiosity. And I had asked you the question of where does curiosity actually come from? And so that led to my takeaway, which curiosity is the personality trait that comes from the practice of being more interested than interesting. That was something that absolutely rocked my world and shifted my perspective to change the way that I look at things. So the things that I look at can continue to change, and I can maximize the exploration and practice of what is my own personal curiosity, let alone be able to understand where people are coming from in terms of their curiosity as well. So I really, really appreciated that, Mr. Meltzer, as always, as you are always dropping bombs. But with that said,
whoa, don't move so quickly. All right, so your takeaway, I always like to have my 2 cents, and maybe we'll change the name of the training to My 2 cents, because I like to put in my 2 cents in the takeaways of the month and asking me anything. But in the takeaway of the month of August, this idea of curiosity, it's a superpower. It's a co-creative power. It's a commanding power to work with God. And understanding this idea of the practice of being more interested than interesting, one of the things you can ask yourself to catch yourself, to enhance your own capability, is if you can answer a question that you have with Google it. If you can answer a question that somebody else has with Google it, then they haven't been more interested than interesting. Why? Because they haven't Googled it. And so don't hold someone back that asks you a question that they could have just Googled, but point out to them that they should have Googled it and asked, like you, a deeper, a more thought-provoking question of an understanding after they're more interested than interesting. In case anyone doesn't know, that statement came from my brother when I was 18 years old, and I wanted to be a doctor for the sake of being rich. And I went to visit him in a hospital. He was doing his residency at UCLA. And he asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "What do you mean, am I okay?" He said, "You don't look well." I said, "Well, I hate hospitals." It almost floored him. He's like, "You're pre-med. What do you mean you hate hospitals?" I told him I wanted to be a sports physician and I wouldn't be in hospitals. he almost dropped to the floor. He's like, "You're an idiot." He goes, "Every doctor, I go, I'm going to be in locker rooms and sidelines." He goes, "Dave, in order to be a doctor, you need to spend an extraordinary amount of time in hospitals, regardless of what type of doctor you are. You need to be more interested than interesting." And so although I was fairly interested in being a doctor, obviously I hadn't done what it takes to know what it actually is to do that. And that's it. So, Clinton Sparks, I see you, my friend. That is a good statement there, my friend. I love the takeaway. Maybe we'll start or add that in. Notated on LinkedIn. We have Clinton Sparks, over 100 million records sold, platinum producer, the CEO and founder of the Global Gaming League. He is amazing. And we'll go ahead and take his takeaway. All right, Nick, I'm rambling now, but we're off the plane at 2 a.m. What do you got for me?
Why don't we follow your lead and let's take Clinton Sparks as our first takeaway of the day? Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Do you want to read it or do you want me?
Either or, up to you.
I'll read it. Here's Clinton Sparks, the platinum producing CEO, founder of the Global Gaming League. No matter how much someone claims they love you, they will always love themselves more. I hope so, because you can't give what you don't have. So don't be fooled to think because someone conveys their love and respect for you that when times get tough, they will drop you in the effort of their self-preservation, even if that means throwing you under the bus. Nice. Well, there's no need to be offended, but that is very true. I think, we do that with our employees. We do that with friends. We have a false expectation that the people don't have self-preservation. And so I think there's two parts to this takeaway. One is expect people and hope that people take care of themselves. As far as that means throwing you under the bus, not sure if you have the ability to know what other people think, nor should you have a need to be offended. So many times, one of the unfortunate insecurities that I have is I have a need to be offended. In fact, I'm reading yours going, oh my God, did I do something to offend Clinton? Did somebody say something to him that he thinks I threw him under the bus? You cannot rely on other people's information. In fact, I've been told a ton of things about Clinton, and, I don't think that I know or think what Clinton thinks. And I'm sure he doesn't feel the same way either. So inherent in his takeaway is something really important, that people are built, human beings are built for self-preservation. As far as throwing people under the bus, that's a game that so many of us play, that we think what other people think. So my suggestion is, if you feel as if somebody threw you under the bus, call them directly and don't, take other people's opinion of what other people said, did, think, feel, or believe. And if there's anything I can do to help you beyond my own self-preservation, Clinton Sparks is a brother. He's amazing. Check out the Global Gaming League. Reach out to me, Clinton, brother. I would look forward to helping you, and I'm curious who threw you under the bus so we can work through your response to the reaction of fear, which so many of us have to deal with every single day, especially as entrepreneurs. Awesome. Anyways, all right, Nick of WOM, what do you got next?
Absolutely. We have a lot of friends and requests here live on Clubhouse with the Breakfast of Champions. So for our first takeaway coming from Clubhouse, I'm going to pass it over to DJ Dave Berlin, who I believe is coming to us live from Las Vegas, but you never know with those DJs. They are all over the world. So DJ Dave Berlin, I hope you are having an incredible week, my friend. Why don't you unmute yourself and share your takeaway of the month of August? Oh, Dave, there you go.
I'm here.
DJ Dave Berlin.
Good morning. Hi. I am here in Las Vegas. Good morning, guys.
That's 2 for 2. We got Clinton in Las Vegas and you in Las Vegas.
I love it. I have not talked about this publicly at all, but I am 30 days in of 90 days of a sacred pause. So my lovely partner and I were both in a season of growth. We're both entrepreneurs. We got into a very serious relationship earlier this year. And while it's been wonderful, as we both expanded, right? Not transition. As we both expanded, it started to bring up a lot of challenges in our relationship. And it got to the point that she was ready to leave. We read lots of books. One of the books that we were reading together is called Liberated Love. And it's by Mark Groves. And they talk about doing a sacred pause where once two people reach a point where it feels like there's nowhere to go, a sacred pause is an opportunity for both individuals to go into a transformation on their own. So no contact, no communication except for maybe a check-in or two. But it was a soul contract between both of us. And so I've actually spent more time alone in the month of August than I have probably in my adult life. I've always had something going on, something busy, but this was something that really forced me to slow down, and really brought up a lot of lessons. But I think the biggest takeaway has been gratitude. Whenever I step away from everything, no TV, I haven't watched really any TV or anything like that, and really just focus on journaling, writing. I think the biggest takeaway this whole month has been gratitude. And a lot of that comes from the lessons that I've learned from Dave over the years. But to really practice that every day has been the biggest takeaway. We have our next check-in coming up on September 10th, which is my birthday. And then it just so happens her birthday is about 40 days away from that. So we'll check in again. And then we're done with this sacred pause at the end of October. And then those two new souls get to choose where we go for relationship 2.0. So it's been a really interesting practice, a lot of discipline, a lot of emotions, but I think gratitude has been the thing that's been the most consistent lesson.
Well, it's amazing because that's exactly what I was thinking is within the context, and I've never heard of a sacred pause, but I love it. Within the context of what I believe in consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential could be a sacred pause within the realm of that relationship. But I was going to see and think about why did all the other pursuits have to be impacted time-wise by this sacred pause of your relationship? Your sleep should stay the same. Your health should stay the same. Your finance, your faith, your study of time and study of relativity. And so slowing down in the other, because for me, I'm thinking, okay, so a sacred pause sounds awesome. It's a circumstance which is going to last 90 days. It'll impact the prioritization of the non-negotiable behavior, the circumstantial behavior each and every day. So now you journal in a hybrid non-negotiable every day, maybe, or meditate or whatever it is that is aligned or synergistic with this sacred pause, so that you could have a restart or refresh of these two new souls in relationship 2.0. But I want to make sure that as we create these secret pauses per the relationships we have, or social media, or some other aspect of our life where we are utilizing recovery and access that occurs during a pause in order to effectuate 2.0, 3.0, or 4.0, that we are utilizing and maintaining and sustaining the non-negotiables of sleep and health and finance and faith and study of time and study of relativity, even though we've taken out the, non-negotiable of that relationship of spending a certain amount of time every day on that relationship. And now it's a matter of check-ins of, on your birthday, on her birthday, whatever it may be. And so as we use this pause, and I highly suggest people to try, these pauses. That's why sleep is my number one non-negotiable, to pause every day for a third of the day, for the sake of recovery and access of information, to transcend, to plateau and grow. And I really am curious, after the 90 days, DJ David Berlin, how and what that 2.0 looks like, how much growth both of you have had. And as you said, hopefully the growth that you both have enjoyed and endured through the access and the recovery of that relationship, that growth puts you in a greater, stronger, more aligned bond, or maybe an acknowledgement or an awareness to how much and how deep the love is that you both have for each other, and your ability, which is necessary in every relationship, to learn to love what you don't like or love about what you love. And I joke around, but I don't when it comes to, my 28th anniversary with my wife. One of the greatest powers and superpowers had been the ability, especially for her, to learn to love what she doesn't like or love about who she loves or what she loves. That would be me. And so our relationship would not be where it's at if we didn't have the ability to learn to love what we don't like or love about what we love. And I love the idea of a pause for recovery and access, especially a sacred pause. It reminds me of Friends, when Ross and what's her name from Friends? I'm getting old. Those people who don't know what Friends is, like my kids. Rachel, thank you. Where Ross and Rachel went on their timeout. It was immediately coming to the forefront of my mind. So I love the takeaway of a sacred pause, and really curious to see how you grow together, or what has been the result after the 90 days. So congratulations. Utilize recovery and access, a sacred pause, for anything that you desire, but continue the non-negotiable behavior, the consistent, persistent pursuit of the other things in your life as well. Continue to grow, plateau, and grow. Nick of Wam, I know they're lining up. Who's up next?
Absolutely. And thank you, Mr. Berlin, for always joining us and the incredible takeaway. For our next takeaway of the day, we got the incredible Brian Swift coming to us live from Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Swift, happy Friday. It's great to see you here as always. Feel free to unmute yourself and share away.
Thank you, gentlemen. Dave, congratulations on 28 years. I'm sure a lot of pausing and went on through those 28 years.
Got it.
So my takeaway, man, I have several of them, but it sounds easy. It's just not, though. Prioritizing what matters. When you look at how easy it is to get really pulled away into so many directions, you have to really remind yourself that prioritization is less about saying yes and more about saying not now. So, protecting your focus is really important. And I believe, I don't know, I think, Dave, you said it, that the urgent will always shout, but the important really rarely yells. So it's keeping that focus on that. Those things that really matter, that helps, because we are pulled in so many directions.
It's so good. And Eisenhower has a matrix of importance versus urgency that, Covey has used, and so many other seminal thought leaders have transformed into this idea. But in the essence, you mentioned the prioritization within the context of how do we know, with the circumstances of each day, what's important to us to utilize our time towards the pursuit of the potential of that which we think is important, not urgent. Urgency is that subset, like you said, that's shouting at us several times, but we have to figure out the importance and the urgency within the context of that prioritization. But the prioritization requires knowing each day what you want in the trajectory of where you think you want to be, and aligning that meaning. It needs to know who you can help and who can help you, and it needs to know the how within the 24 hours of each day, beyond the non-negotiable behaviors, which is a set in stone prioritization that I'm going to give a minimum amount of time on my sleep, my health, my family, my finance, my faith, the relativity study, and the time study that's necessary to effectuate aggregation, acceleration, and compounding impacts in my life. It is that prioritization, Brian, that you've been practicing and I practice each and every day, to know what I want, who I can help, and who can help me, and how best to utilize the other time according to circumstances of the day, the interest rates, the weathers, the arguments, the sacred pauses, as you said, whatever it is. according to the circumstances of the day, is this the prioritization? And then determine if it's not, when, because it's just a matter of time, or who, not the what. So as I'm prioritizing, and I can't, because I live in abundance, get to everything that I want to get to within the non-negotiable circumstantial behavior of the day, when can I get to it? Is it a hybrid non-negotiable? Is it next Wednesday? Is it next Thursday? Or is it who can help me, or who can I help with this opportunity, option, touch of favor in my life? But notating along the way, Brian, that we are blessed, not overwhelmed, and not procrastinating. We are blessed that we have more than enough opportunity, options, and touches of favor. And I'm going to utilize prioritization as the antidote to the feeling of overwhelmed, of scarcity, of not enough, and not procrastinate, but instead to distribute or execute that opportunity, option, or touch of favor, and utilize the what, the who, and the how to determine my now. And if anybody would like those 5 daily practices that incorporate applying our why to the prioritization process and the non-negotiable behaviors, circumstantial behaviors, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. It is those values that are utilized in the 5 daily practice that allows us to execute in our own personalized, customized execution model. And Brian, thank you so much for elevating the awareness to the importance of prioritization and the urgency that shouts at us, that can confuse us and interfere us from what we really want, who we can really help, who can really help us, and how to get it done. Does that sound fair?
Absolutely. And I got to say, you're probably tired of seeing my emails, but I ask for your guides all the time. And you know, I rely on those so much. And thank you so much for providing that opportunity, because you're probably tired. Like I said, I'm emailing you a couple times a week, getting your guides. And if you want even something deeper than your guides, if you're not a part of Dave's community, man, you should join it. It has helped me tremendously. The best investment I've ever made. I can honestly say that. So God bless and thank you.
Bless you, my friend. And thank you, Nick Avon. We're rocking and rolling. We're right at halftime. Put up the number 3, because we'll be moving into the third quarter. We're blessed to be here with our amazing neighborhood of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. Nick Avon, I know we're made from mistakes, as my hat says. What do you think, and who's up next?
Absolutely. Just as a quick reset of the room, as we are hitting that halfway point in halftime, welcome for everybody that is joining us. This is David Meltzer's Friday training that he has been doing for over 27 years. Today's topic is takeaway from the month of August. So whether you are joining us online, please put your takeaways into the chat. If you are live here on Clubhouse, use the hand icon to request to join the stage if you would like to share your takeaway. Or if you are already on stage, please just use the chat and put a quick note in the chat, and I will pass the microphone your way. But with that said, next up, we are going to take another friend here live on Clubhouse. We have, let me see here, we have Judith, who has been patiently waiting and has her takeaway to share. So Judith, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and share your takeaway.
Hi, David. Good morning.
Good morning.
My takeaway of the month was I hired a new employee, and I listen every Friday to your segments. And you know, even though we're not in a relationship, like a personal relationship, it's still a honeymoon stage. You know, when you have a new employer, you're still trying to figure them out and see how it's going. And I'm in the growth pivot in my business. And when last time I talked to you in Chicago, I was devastated. Now I'm in a growth pivot. So I'm all over the place, but it's a honeymoon stage for me right now, and I'm enjoying it. And I'd like to know from you how to keep the honeymoon stage going.
What a great question. Well, first, we're not ever pivoting, we're expanding. And that's why you went and have expanded from where you were when we met in Chicago to where you are today. The same thing holds true in a relationship. And within the honeymoon phase, comparatively to sustain the honeymoon phase is there are no struggles, setbacks, failures, mistakes, disappointments, no need to be offended, right, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, or worried. And so the way that we expand what you call the honeymoon phase is to manage our expectations that there will be these reactions to fear along the way from both parties in a relationship. And I talked earlier about, for me, the mechanism that allows my relationships to thrive, no matter who it is, determinative upon the relativity. Are you a family member? Are you my spouse, my child? Are you a associate? Are you an organizational friend? Are you an investment friend? Or what is the relativity in our lives and the association? And then you get to determine how you're fed from that relationship. Am I fed from the bleeding of the relationship or the feeding of the relationship? Obviously, our children bleed us, but they're the greatest mechanism and modality of feeding that we have. As our parents get older, the same holds true. But is your friend from the 12th grade worth the struggle? Do you want to take the time to learn to love what you don't like or love about your friend from the 12th grade? Maybe, maybe not. But at least you have a contextual criteria to determine how to maintain a honeymoon, quote unquote, phase, because I've managed the expectation in order to feel as if I'm on my honeymoon where, quote unquote, everything is perfect, but it's not. Because in any relationship between two parties, there's two parties. And in order for that relationship to be perfect, they would have to be perfect. But that's not part of the game. The game of the human experience started from the time your heart starts till it stops. Because the human game that starts when the heart starts and stops when the heart stops is about what? It's about learning. It's about being made from mistakes, like my hat says, made from mistakes. And so we have to learn from mistakes through gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons in that honeymoon. We need to be forgiving for the mistakes that we're going to be made from. We need to be accountable to learn those lessons, to ask ourselves, what did I do to be responsible for this upset? What did I do to attract this upset? What did I do to participate in the perception? Look at my old friend, one of my best friends in the world, right? Clinton Sparks. Obviously, there's an upset with somebody, and he feels as if he's thrown under the bus, and that, how dare somebody take care of themselves first? That's just a perception that you're participating. What can we learn from it to stay in the honeymoon phase, this perfect relationship? The first thing is, it's not perfect. Even in the honeymoon phase, it's not perfect. So you still should be utilizing gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability to stay in spirit, to stay inspired as if you are in your honeymoon. And so manage your own expectations and staying on track with the values of gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication in order to facilitate the ability to learn to love, if it's worth it, according to the relativity association and feeding and bleeding of the feeding, if it's worth it to learn to love what you don't like or love about this employee. And if you can do that, you will be as close to a honeymoon and sustainability of a honeymoon, which is quote unquote perfect, but it's not, knowing that it's not, but it sure feels good. And speaking of that, I am blessed to have a 5-year honeymoon, well, 28-year honeymoon with my wife, because of her ability to learn to love what she doesn't like or love, her ability to be grateful, forgiving, and accountable, and effectively communicate with me, saving my own life. But the Nick of Wham as well. I've learned to love what I don't like or love about what I love, and that's the Nick of Wham, the well-oiled machine. Nick of Wham, who's up next?
Quick side note, I love you too, Dave.
Oh,
Secondly,
we're in the honeymoon
I
stage.
Making
5 years.
We're always in the honeymoon stage. Yeah, exactly. As our next,
Even if you
takeaway,
didn't
I
give me
actually
the
wanna
room
take-
number the other day.
Yeah, listen, we're not perfect. Right?
We are not.
That's why we're made from mistakes.
Made from mistakes. All right. Dude, you're awesome. Go ahead.
The next question I'm going to take is actually I'm going to take this from the chat. He's loving it.
I am.
So I'm going to take the next question from chat, actually, because I am very curious, and so as Bradford Wally is. He asked, what are some of the parallels and differences between love and gratitude?
Oh my God. There are so synergistic love and gratitude. And so within, first of all, the definition of love, the truth, it's the highest vibration of all that we say, think, feel, believe, do. It is the highest vibration. The truth vibrates the fastest, and the truth is love. The truth is that which exists with no interference between us and the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing, infinite, abundant, unified system of thought of more than enough of everything for everyone. It is the all-powerful. What are you doing to interfere with it? And so to understand that parallel in gratitude, gratitude is the engine, is the perspective that allows us to pursue our truth, pursuing the perfect, harmonious honeymoon of activities of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe. And so the relationship between gratitude, which is perspective to find the truth or the love. So the relationship is when we utilize gratitude at its highest power, we are pursuing love, the truth. And we use gratitude when the situation or the evidence isn't there or contrary to where we want to be. We use it, gratitude, to seek that which we don't know, to shorten the distance of resistance that we create by finding light, love, and lessons in a person. And that's a great tool for Clinton to use for his frustration, because I'm feeling it from him. And he should use gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons to seek the truth. Right? We create an energy gap between I am and this is what I think I am. I am and this is what I want people to think I am. I am and this is what I think other people think I am. And that energy gap is just amplified through social media for our children, especially. And it's an energy suck. The comparative truth of love is gratitude allows us to find the love. Where is the love? It's within gratitude, the capability of finding the light, the love, and the lessons when there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to love or to the truth. The ability to use gratitude to create a participation in that perspective, creating accountability, and then forgiving ourselves as we project our own problem onto the problem. And when we use gratitude in this relationship to the truth, to love, the ability to find love requires gratitude. The ability to find the light, love, and lessons in everything, every situation, regardless of the evidence. What a beautiful question. And I appreciate it so much. Utilizing the power of the enjoyment and enjoying something requires the ability to love what you don't like or love about what you love in the consistent way every day, persistently without quitting, in the pursuit of love, of the truth, of your potential. Nick of Wam, we're rocking on. Who's up next?
Absolutely. We get our good friend, Mr. Paul Logan, who has been waiting patiently with his takeaway of the month. So, Paul, my friend, happy Friday. It's always good to see you here. Why don't you use that unmute button and share your takeaway?
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good morning, P&L. That's Profit and Loss, the Paul Logan slogan. What's up, brother man?
Doing well. And first of all, on the whole pause thing, you and I on the same page. The first thing I thought was Ross and Rachel. We were on a break.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're on the same page, man. I was like, it's the exact same thing. I had so many takeaways this month. I mean, you just like throw out nuggets of gold like it's a jewelry store, man.
Oh, thank you.
So, but some of the ones that really hit hard were the day that we were talking about the counterintuitive habits, or that you were talking about and I was absorbing, where you were saying that slowing down is speeding up, fewer misfires, love that. Saying no to create more yes, not filling up my calendar with bullshit. You know what I mean? Just to seem busy. I loved that. That hit home. But the one that really hit me on that day was leading with vulnerability, not invincibility. Because I try to do that, think that I can handle it all on my own, not ask for help, and end up fighting burnout all the time. So I love those, brother. Thank you so much for those.
Oh, I love it. Well, I may have to use that testimonial, Mike and Gigi. Do you guys catch what he said? He said you're throwing out nuggets and jewelry, nuggets and gold as if you're a jewelry store. I can't think of a better testimonial. You make my heart sing, P&L, the profit and loss of life, and it's Paul Logan. He has a new slogan every single time that I think of him. But within the context of
I
vulnerability,
try to come up with some winners, man.
those are definitely winners, and you're a winner, which is love and why I love being with you and around you. But the idea of vulnerability, lead with vulnerability, not invincibility.
Love that.
It is almost an oxymoron in the respect that in order to be invincible, you have to be vulnerable. You know, when we take the power out of it, I'm doing a business deal with a gentleman. The first time I met him, he said, "Mr. Meltzer, I need your help, but I need to tell you something. I serve time. And here's my story, and I want to let you know up front in a transparent, vulnerable way so that you know who I am today. And if you don't want to do business because it'll hurt your brand, or you think it's not aligned with the timing and risk tolerance that you have, or there is a too big of a gap, a possibility for what I've done in the past compared to what I want to do in the future." And I am sure that had to be difficult for this young man when he came up to me to tell me that. And I told him, as the jewelry store was open that day, "Brother, you're made from your mistakes, and it's the vulnerability that you have shown that inspires me to be more curious, to be more interested in what you're doing." Because I certainly go through a lot of different opportunities and options in my life, and I find out things that wouldn't have been a big deal if they would have been vulnerable up front. But because they were not vulnerable, I now question their integrity and character, and now they sink down in the prioritization list because I can't trust them like I can other people, knowing that I stand upon this idea of we're made from mistakes and that the truth vibrates the fastest. And why not tell me, "Hey, I've been bankrupt in the past. Hey, I've been in jail. Hey, I have this problem, this addiction." That doesn't stop me from wanting to help you, and it doesn't stop you from needing help. But lead with vulnerability, not invincibility, because eventually the invincible are vulnerable. And when the vulnerability comes out, it is a question of their integrity and their character that creates a greater gap, a greater interference between you and them. Lead with vulnerability. The truth vibrates the fastest. P&L, he's my profit and loss. It's Paul Logan, and that's his slogan. Thank you, my brother, for bringing it. We appreciate you, and always for showing up. I don't know how you always show up, but you do. Thank you.
Because it's worth it, my friend. I mean, I was at an event last night, got home around 2 a.m, and my alarm went off at 5 a.m, and I'm here, buddy.
Yeah, we landed at the same, got back at 2 a.m. from New York. So we flew in to Newark at 6 a.m., created an active and productive day, and took off around 10 p.m. Eastern time, landed at about 1, got to the home about 2 a.m., ready to rock and roll on the takeaway of the day, leading into the fourth quarter. Everybody, we are blessed. And please, guys like Brian, people like Paul, they're also Aubrey that's in here, Jody, all these people are part of our networking group. They're part of our community. And please join us. Just reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. Every single Monday we meet virtually. Every day we meet. But on Mondays, not only do I coach and answer questions, but make introductions personally. So please, if you don't believe me, how valuable this guaranteed experience is of joining our networking group, then go ahead, grab one of these people. They're all over the place. Thousands of people belong. And come and join us. We'd love to have you.
So valuable, buddy.
I appreciate it. David@dmeltzer.com is how you reach up, how you join us. Put up the number 4. Know you're made from mistakes. It's the Nick of Vom. He's a well-oiled machine. He's 25 going on 50. What's up, my brother?
Absolutely. We're going to keep this train rocking and rolling live here on Clubhouse. We got the Meltzer double, Mr. Eric Meltzer. That's no family affiliation, just kindred spirits and kindred souls. Mr. Meltzer double. Eric, I hope you are having an incredible week, my friend. We miss you. We hope to see you soon. But for the meantime, please unmute yourself and share your takeaway.
Cool. Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, thanks so much, Dave. So I think the main takeaway of the month is that I yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Basically, it seems every discussion I've had with David just comes into stop, drop, and roll, and stop interfering with myself, and just really identifying that I think I have this like inherent inferiority complex that just kind of blocks in the way of abundance and moving forward. And so, I really am so grateful, Dave, that you've been pointing out this to me, and it's something I've been giving a lot of thought, a whole lot of thought to, really.
I love it, man. And look, it's easy for other people. You need blind sight buddies, the blind spot buddies in your life, and it's one of the things that just meet yourself there. We got trains, planes, and automobiles behind them. But these blind spot buddies are important in our lives. That's why we have mentorship teachers and coaches. And one of the things that blind spot buddies should find for you is when you aren't comfortable or confident. And in each and every area of your life, you can't be comfortable and confident because it takes practice in order to be comfortable and confident. And we need to prioritize that practice with time and intention to create the coincidences, the coinciding of the improvement, the expansion, the aggregation, acceleration, and compounding impact that consistent behavior creates. And so we need these blind spot buddies. That's why I love our networking group, right? It's thousands of blind spot buddies to point out the truth of, hey, you're not comfortable and you're not confident in this area. What can I do to help you? Would it help you if? Do you know anyone that can help me with the areas that I'm not comfortable and confident in? And so if you need a blind spot buddy, then do what Eric does. Ask for help. He has a blind spot buddy for his health. I know he's been a one-on-one, sat on my wait list, became a one-on-one client as he was in our group. So he has created a network of blind spot buddies to point out, hey, if you're not comfortable and confident doing this or being this, let me help you, or I know this person to help you, because we have that community. And so the biggest takeaway of that takeaway is to make sure you have the appropriate blind spot buddies. Maybe I'll rename my networking group Blind Spot Buddies. And we're building blind spot buddies for each other. What a great takeaway. One in which my friend Mike Tannenbaum has taught me a great terminology. I think Belichick came up with that. And Belichick was Tannenbaum's blind spot buddy to point out where he's not comfortable or confident and to help him. And so if you want a blind spot buddy, reach out to us, and please, we would love to have you there. Thank you so much. All right, moving forward, Nick of Guam, we're in the last 10 minutes of our unbelievable takeaway of the month. We're rocking and rolling. What do you got for me?
Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, you're my blind spot buddy, sweetheart.
Oh,
you
just made my Friday. That's so cute.
Yeah. I love the fact. I love the fact that you point out the blind spots to me, and I love that. Thank you.
And you do so for me. So the gratitude goes both ways. And let's have that gratitude shared even more with some of our community friends here. We got Eamon next up with her takeaway of the month of August. So Eamon, it's always good to see you here. And then we got Jody up next on deck. But Eamon, the mic is yours. Unmute yourself and share away.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, David. Actually, it's been a whole silent 2 months now since the sacred oaths have been mentioned. But my biggest takeaway, David, I told you my story a couple of months ago about losing all my money to a fraud and something like that. But here's what I take away from this. I mean, between all the tales, if we have kind of, there are always two tales between the truth and confusion, and by confusion I mean our perception of the truth. Sometimes it takes that loss. It takes, because loss makes you humble yourself. It takes you to it takes that time to stop and pause and think about the possibilities, the potentials, what you gotta do, and what God, universe, whatever you call it, want you to listen to. Because sometimes we're caught in the life goes on, and we don't stop to hear the most secret voices, the whispers inside your heart, that and you think about it for just a second and you keep going because life is going on, and that chaos that happens because you don't listen. I think my biggest takeaway was finding the balance, because I've been always high achiever, doing so much to the point that I forgot myself. I forgot to stop. I forgot to take a breath. So it is finding the balance. If it's not the balance, it's the real full potential of what God wants me to listen to, real purpose, maybe rediscovering my next version. I still didn't find it, but
Yeah, there's no that too right.
Humbleness and the humility to listen. Thank you so much, David. You've been there all the way. So you've been helping me a lot. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much. And in that expansion and the takeaway of these pauses that you're taking and the expansion of who we are, and this becoming is constant. And the inherent takeaway of we're either humble or we're about to be. And the unfortunate circumstances, or in my case, in your case, the fortunate circumstance that reveals itself in a revelation and a salvation of losing everything. It is the meaning that we give from the mistakes that we have, and how we're made from those mistakes. And if somebody would have told me when I lost everything, over $100 million, went bankrupt, had to tell my mom that I lost her house in the bankruptcy and she had to move. If somebody would have told me somehow that evidence of losing everything, including my mom's house, that evidence was the evidence that changed my life for the better. That was the evidence that allowed me to be humble, to create a predisposition of faith in my life, aligned with the intention of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing with where I want to be, the lessons that need to be learned. This was the mistake that I was made from that created this expansion in my life, one in which there was no evidence and the evidence was contrary. And when people lose everything, if we don't create the right meaning, if we don't create the made from mistake from it, then we will be punished without a predisposition of faith that we're being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, that this is a revelation, this is a salvation from we're either humble or we're about to be. And I can't tell you, still today, 18 years later, after that defining moment, I still have to remember, and recollect, even though I have a predisposition of faith in living in this abundant unified system, I have to remind myself so many times, you're either humble or you're about to be. All right, Nick Awam, the humility that you have at 25 to me is just such a blessing. I appreciate your well-oiled machine and your pursuit of your potential at such a young age. Why don't you go ahead? I know you said we have another friend waiting in the wings to close us out for our last takeaway of the month.
Absolutely. And once again, that gratitude goes both ways. For our cleanup hitter to close out this incredible takeaway of the day, or takeaway of August Free Friday training, we have our lovely friend Jody. Jody, it is such a pleasure to see you here. Thank you for your patience and making it work here to jump on Clubhouse. Feel free to unmute yourself and close us out with the final takeaway from August.
So thank you. First of all, thank you to you, Nick, and to David. You both have been the wind beneath my wings. Thank you to the whole group for your massive contributions. Like, everybody, when you share, it's amazing for me. So your sharing just, hits the farthest star in the universe. My takeaway, though, was redefining staying on purpose. So I've known for a very long time that to stay on purpose, I needed to avoid the interferences, the people that bleed you. But the real lesson is to avoid, for me, is to avoid the spiritual disruptions, the ones that will insert misinformation into the realm to take you off guard, will also bleed you. And which is why I was guided to lead with love, to self-heal. But then I really redefined that to lead with self-love. And Fagla says she's the one who taught me.
Yes, that's Fagla in the background.
Yeah, it's Fagla in the background. So she's the one who actually started teaching me this back in 2018. And but to lead with self-love is the way to stay on purpose and not be distracted or bled. And she's actually sending you love, David and Nick, and the whole group. She says, Mommy had. Thank you, honey. She says, Mommy's really transformed how she looks at the world, and it would not have been possible without the energy and the wisdom of everyone in the group.
So smart. Oh, Jody, thank you so much. And, you talked about self-love, self-preservation, self itself, and I am. And I think a common theme throughout, still screaming at us, Fagla. I love it. But what still remains is I am, what am I doing to interfere with it? And through the context of this community of people, this collective consciousness, we can elevate our awareness so that we don't feel punished. We don't have a need to be offended or separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, and resentful when we do have that response to fear. We then can
so we can just look at the lesson, right?
Correct.
We don't have to be angry, just look at the lesson.
Yeah, but one of the things innately in self-preservation and revelation and self-awareness, in self-love, is the fact that we have to acknowledge that we're going to react to fear with those feelings immediately. It's instant and obvious. It's there to protect us. Because of the self-love becomes self-preservation. So instantly and obviously, when we're afraid, we're going to be angry, worried, upset, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, or resentful, just like a lot of people today. And then instead of accelerating through it and saying, I gotta need to be offended, this guy did. No, just stop, drop, and roll into your divine direction, roll into the detour, so that it too creates its divinity into your potential. Jody, it's 7:00 on the dot. We got to move on and pass on Nick of Guam, the well-oiled machine. Love you, love everyone. This has been our Friday training. If you'd like the exercises, guides, and books that were referred to here, they're all free. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Happy to send them to you, david@dmeltzer.com. Nick of Guam, let everyone quickly know where we're going to be and close out the room. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. If you want to be invited to the 200 cities, all you got to do is text me. This is the best invite system we have. I use it to alert me where we're going to be. We are just back from New York, but we'll be doubling up at SoFi Stadium with 2 masterminds, VIP dinners, meetups, interviews, holding court, Wolfgang Puck, Marie Diamond, Wingland. Maybe we'll get Clinton Sparks to join us and help him out as a group. Rome will be not Rome, Italy, but we are not doing a meetup in Rome. I think we're going to do it somewhere else in Italy, but that's okay. We'll keep Rome up there. No, put that up there. I want to see. Then we'll be in Phoenix, Rapid City, South Dakota, San Diego, Indianapolis, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Los Alamitos, and Boise, Idaho. That's going to be the next few weeks. That's how you get to 200 cities. Meetups, holding courts, interviews, speeches, VIP lunches and dinners. We do it all in these cities. come and join us. But if you're not going to remember it, like I can't remember it, Gigi can't remember it, Mike can't remember it, Nick can't remember it, you got to text me 949-298-2905 if you're offended, right? If you haven't learned the lessons from today and the takeaway, if you have a need to be offended, if you feel if somebody's throwing you under the bus, stop. You're wasting your time. Text. But if you get offended by getting invites, then don't text me. 949. Don't do it. 949-298-2905. If you're offended by invitations, do not join us. It's invitations, not obligations. Please text us. We'd love to see you in these cities. Email me once again if you want the exercises, guides, books. We do trainings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have lives every single day. We answer questions every single day. You can reach out to us. God bless all of you. Remember, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this. And then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.